Hey ho, my name is Joe. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about some books I'm just so freaking excited for that they just need to be here, like now, like yesterday. Hello there, my name is Joanna. I refer to myself here as Joe. If you are new here, I talk everything about books and polycystic ovarian syndrome. And today I'm actually going to be talking about some books that I am just so excited for to be releasing in 2021. 2020 was a rough year. I mean, we all know that. And there was some really good books that got released this year, but I didn't get my hands on all of those. But these books that are coming out in 2021, like, I've already pre-ordered 5 of them, and I'm just really excited for some of these, and I cannot wait. So, there's only about 9 on this list. I'm always adding stuff to this list, so if you want to follow this list, I will always leave a link down below to my Goodreads where you guys can go check that out. And as always, the books that I always talk about are always listed down below with always a link to Goodreads so you can go check them out for yourself. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into these because I'm probably going to talk a lot about these. So I actually have 10 books on this list, not 9. So, let's dive in. I'm just going to start from the bottom and work my way up from the order that I've put him on my wish list. So, the first one should not be no surprise to you. If you all been following me from the very beginning, you know that I am obsessed with this series, and that book is A Vow So Bold and Deadly. This is, I believe, is the 3rd and final book in the Cursebreakers saga, or trilogy, however you want to say it. And I have been waiting for this ever since I finished A Heart So Fierce and Broken. I'm not going to go into details what this one's about because it will spoil a lot if I talk about it. But otherwise than that, this follows Gray, Rain, Harper, and I know I'm going to say it now, Leah Mermerda. I'm totally saying that wrong. So this is like what happens after A Heart So Fierce and Broken, and I cannot be any more excited for this. This is one of those ones, I knew it was coming out, and I went straight to my bookstore, and I pre-ordered it, and they're going to give me a call when it comes in, and oh my god, I cannot freaking wait for this book. I just want to know what happens. And leading up to it, I'm probably going to end up reading Curse So Dark and Lonely and A Heart So Fierce and Broken just leading up to this book. Because, holy crap, this book just needs to be here already. Next we have The Project by Courtney Summers. Now, this one sounded pretty interesting. This one, I don't know how to explain this one. This one, you follow a girl who is left in the care of a great aunt, and she starts getting involved in the community, and this one, you follow a girl who ends up moving in with her great aunt, and she gets involved in the community, but then she starts to question everything, like, around her, and she ends up getting involved, what was it, okay, so she ends up getting involved in this community, which is called the Unity Project, and it's one, like, the hearts and everything of, like, everybody across New York, and then she basically falls into this, like, rabbit hole, I guess. Like, not really like a rabbit hole, but she falls into... It's hard to explain. I really suck at explaining books. You guys should know this. But either way, like I said, all the books I'm talking about will be also listed down below, so you can go check them out for yourself. I really suck at explaining books, guys. I really do. I'm sorry. Alright. The next one is Follow Your Arrow by Jessica Verdi. Now this one, I believe, I don't know really understand why I'm kind of excited about this one, because I think this one kind of falls into the category of romance, which we all know I'm really not into romance. I never have been. But Cece is like, she's kind of like a big deal. Like, she has this like huge following on social media, and she's like one of the biggest influencers of all time. And she has a girlfriend who's also on social media, and okay, so basically they're both influencers together, and when they break up, Cece's devastated. She lost her friend, she lost her life, or not lost her life, lost her friend, lost her whole life basically. So she's wondering if she's going to start losing her followers because they broke up, and everything kind of like falls apart or gets messy when she meets this guy named Josh, and he's not really into the whole online social media thing. So she's just kind of wondering what's going to happen when her secrets start catching up with her and whatnot. So it kind of sounded a little interesting because, you know, here on book 2 we have that social interaction with people, like, you know, we're book influencers and whatnot. It's just a little bit different turn on it, but this one sounded a little interesting because it just kind of seemed like, well, what if you didn't get in a relationship where somebody's like not really into the whole influencer or social media thing like we all are? So that's why I was kind of intrigued by that one. Alright, next we have The Ladies of the Secret Circus by Constance Sayers. However you want to say that name. So this one takes place in 2 different timelines. First timeline is in Paris in 1925. Second timeline is Virginia in 2005. And first you follow the Secret Circus, where you are just following the circus, like with all the fantastic beasts and the clowns, and, you know, circuses have never really portrayed to me, but I like the idea of a circus, but I just don't like the clowns. The clowns can just all go away. But anyway, so then you go into 2005, where Laura Barnes is the top of the world till her fiancé disappears on their wedding day. Desperate for answers, she searches and unexpectedly leads to her great-grandmother's journals, which sweeps her to a dark and mysterious circus. Now, I was so intrigued by that just because my great-grandmother used to keep journals as well, and I never got a chance to read them. She had letters to her husband back when they were still dating, and she was from like the 1920s, and I just wish I could have gotten to know more about that history. Plus, this is kind of like a historical fiction, so I'm all for historical fiction. I think you guys already know that by this point, but either way, it's just, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, moving on. We got The Divines by Ellie Eaton. So this one is pretty interesting. So this one is kind of like a Mean Girls meets a boarding school. So you kind of got like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Mean Girls, you know, with Lindsay Lohan, with Rachel McAdams. I can't think of the girl who plays Gretchen, but either way, it's kind of like a Mean Girls meets a boarding school, and so she goes to this school, and then fast forward, like, you know, way in the future, she ends up becoming a teacher at said boarding school, and it's like she's back in the school with like the whole Mean Girls world again, being teased and picked on or whatever, and it just kind of like makes me wonder, like, well, what would it be like if I was a teacher at my old high school? Like, what would happen to me? Because I was one in high school where I got picked on a lot. Because I was a big girl my whole entire life. And, you know, I just was not really one of the popular kids. But it just kind of makes me wonder, like, well, what is going to happen? Like, how are things going to go? How are things going to be portrayed out? And I was really interested and really intrigued by it. So, yes. Will it be good? I don't know. It says that it's also historical fiction. And I say that because it says it takes place in the 1990s. Like, either she was in school in the 1990s or she went back in the 1990s. I'm not exactly sure. And just the fact that we're saying now that 1990 is historical fiction, that scares me a little. Because I grew up in the 90s. So, am I really that old? I have to be, because I know at work I'm starting to type 1999, and next year I'm going to start typing 2000 for people to buy cigarettes. What the hell? Nah. Okay, anyway, moving on. This next one. Okay, so this next one is called Mother May I by Jocelyn Jackson. I think I'm saying that name wrong. So this one is... I'm going to read the synopsis because this one gets a little confusing. Growing up poor in a rural Georgia, Bree Cabot was warned by her single mother that the world was a dark and scary place. Aren't we all? Bree rejected her mother's fearful outlook on life, and proved her right. Having married into a family with wealth, power, connections, Bree has all a woman could ever dream of. A loving husband, 2 talented teenage daughters, a new baby boy, a gorgeous home, and every opportunity in the world. Until the day she is awakened and sees a witch peering into her bedroom window with old gray hair, dressed in all black, and she vanishes quickly as she disappears. It must be a play of the early morning light or a remnant of a waking dream, Bree tells herself, shaking it off. But that fear overcomes her. Later that day, she spies the old woman again in the parking lot of her daughter's private school, just minutes before Bree's infant son, asleep in the car just a few feet away, vanishes. It happened so quickly, Bree looked away for only a second, and there was a note left in his place warning that she was being watched, and if she wants her baby back, she must not call the police and deviate from any instructions that will follow. The mysterious woman makes contact, and Bree learns too. She is a mother why would any other mother do this? What would she want? Why was she so targeted to Bree? And of course, it will pay anything, and she will do anything. It's her child. To get her baby back, Bree must complete one small, critical task. It seems harmless enough, but her actions becomes with a devastating price. To make her complete and entangled of tragedy and shocking secrets that could destroy everything she loves, is the beginning the audacity will breed will lead to a dangerous place, confrontations, and chilling truths. Bree will do whatever it takes to protect her family, but it will cost her to tear her world apart. So, it's kind of like what would happen if the baby disappears, or her baby disappears, and what would a mother do to get her life back, or get her baby back? Like, what lengths would a mother go through to get her back? And I'm really excited. That one can't come out soon enough because I cannot imagine. Like, I have no children of my own, but I cannot imagine what would happen if you lost your child and you do everything to get him back, wouldn't you? I mean, at least I think you would. Alright, and this next one is Our Darkest Night by Jennifer Robson. So this one is a historical fiction where it's during World War II, and you guys all know World War II is up my alley, so I hear anything about World War II and I'm like all over it. So this one is about a Jewish woman who is hiding a Jewish man, I think. No, okay, so this is a Jewish woman who is hiding out at a Christian man's home, and she's married to him. So she married him that way so she didn't really have to go with the Jews during the whole Holocaust situation. It's a really bad way to put it. But she married him, and then she never actually loved him, but this one kind of like leads into like a love story. So maybe I'm stretching my horizons here. Maybe I'm trying to get more into romance in 2021. I don't know. But either way, this one just sounded really intriguing because it was during World War II, and I love like any like love story during World War II. I love anything that has to do with it. Like maybe I was a Jew in, you know, that era. Maybe I don't know, because everything about World War II and the Holocaust just fascinates me, and this book is going to be no different from anything else. So, yes, I'm excited. I know this video is really random, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, we've got 3 more. So, the next one is Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. Now, this one is kind of like a bride's honeymoon becomes an utter and total nightmare. So she thought she had it all. She ended up marrying this millionaire. They go on this amazing, fantastic honeymoon. And right before her wedding, she ends up having a one-night stand on her bachelorette weekend. And she gets put into this like incident where this like really hot, sexy, like gorgeous dream guy will not give her his real name. And so she ends up understand, okay, well, I really want to be with the guy I'm engaged to for the rest of my life. Like, oh wait, yeah, so I'm thinking Bruce is the name of her future husband. But, and then she ends up getting like a stalker. So the synopsis is really weird and confusing, so definitely check out that one down below, because the synopsis is weird. Like, it goes like a million directions, and it's just better if you read it. I'm not going to read it because there's a lot of names in it. So, yes, I'm afraid to read this one because synopsis, I don't know if you guys will be able to see my phone, but the synopsis is pretty long on this one. So, I highly recommend that you guys go check out the synopsis on this one. But, either way, one night stand and stalker is the best way I could tell you. OMG. Holy freaking crap. Oh my god. Okay. This next one, alright? The Frozen Crown by Greta Kelly. I feel like this is going to be one of the most top anticipated books of 2021. And if it's not, I'm going to be very surprised. But, so this one is a start of a new series that I think is coming out. And I believe it's a young adult, but it's kind of like the Hunger Games meets the Seven Realms series. So if you guys have read the Seven Realms series, that's kind of like, that's the best way I feel like I could put it. It's the Hunger Games meets the Seven Realms series, and wow, like, it just sounds amazing. That's not really the way that they put it, but what I can tell you is it says, like, this is like the blurb on what it's about. A princess with a powerful and dangerous secret must find a way to save her country from ruthless invaders and in this exciting debut fantasy, the first novel in a thrilling duology packed with heroism, treachery, magic, and war. Like, that sounds just all fantasy, just all tied into one. Like, I cannot wait for this one. And I honestly, I'm not sure who's putting this one out, But if you guys all see this video and if you want me to review this, I would more than happy take an arc of it and review it for you. I just cannot wait for this one. Right now, it's saying that it's fans for people who like the Poppy War. So I haven't read the Poppy War, but I want to. And I really want to get my hands on it. But anyway, so excited for that one. Alright, and the last one that I have on my list, I'm always going to be adding things to this list, so definitely check it out down below, is Malice by Heather Walter. Now, so this is kind of a beauty, no, this is a, I wish I had a Beauty and the Beast retelling on here. I haven't been able to see if I can find one that's coming out in 2021. But if you do know of a Beauty and the Beast retelling, definitely leave a comment down below that is coming out in 2021 because you know I'll be all over that. Anyway, this is a Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I was not really a fan of the whole Sleeping Beauty thing, but I was intrigued by this one. A princess isn't supposed to fall for an evil sorceress, but it's a dark, magical retelling of Sleeping Beauty. True love is more than just a simple fairy tale. Now, once upon a time, there was a wicked fairy who, in an act of vengeance, cursed a line of princesses to die. A curse that can only be broken by true love's kiss. You've heard of this before, haven't you? The handsome prince that happily live ever. Utter nonsense. Let me tell you, no one than Bear actually cares about what happens to the princesses. Not in a way that they care about their jewels and elaborate parties and charm-granting elixirs. I thought I didn't care either, until I met her. Princess Aurora, the last heir to Bear's throne. Okay. Princess Aurora, the last heir to Briar's throne, kind, gracious, the future queen her realm needs. The one who isn't bothered that I am Alice, a dark grace, abhorred by feared and mysterious dark magic that runs through my veins, humiliated and shamed by the same nobles who pay me to bottle hexes and brand me a monster. Aurora says I should be proud of my gifts, that she cares for me, even though it was a power like mine that was responsible for her curse. So, this one, okay, honestly kind of sounds like Of Curses and Kisses meets Sleeping Beauty. Now, if you're not sure what I'm talking about with Of Curses and Kisses, that was this one right here. So I read this year, and this was about a girl who was the Beast and the man who was the Beauty. Best retelling I've read to date. But anyway, so that's kind of like this book meets that. So it's going to be pretty interesting and pretty exciting. And I cannot wait for it. Like, I am very excited for it. And I definitely want to check that out. So, anyway, if you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for watching. I feel like my book descriptions were really awful. But, you know, I really suck at book descriptions, but I'm getting better at it, so yes. If you want to see any more random content by me, because I try to post on Tuesdays and Fridays of every week, sometimes in between, and sometimes they're at random, so you definitely want to hit subscribe if you don't want to miss anything. And as always, check out all my links down below, and of course, as always, every book that I mention will always be listed down below, as well as a link over to my Goodreads so you can check these books out for yourself and also keep it up to date on my Goodreads as I add more. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!